Alrighty, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, we've got a new video for today. This is, there is no right way to live. I saw this video in my recommended, and it looked kind of fascinating, I'm not gonna lie. It looked very interesting to react to. I'm not really sure what to expect. This isn't really a drama video, but I was still very curious to react to it, so that's what we're gonna be watching for today.
The massive men lead lives of quiet desperation, wrote Henry David Thoreau. Much of our time spent on Earth may be spent second-guessing ourselves, and I think many of us live as if we're being graded. There is some ideal person floating above us, more disciplined, more attractive, more productive, more certain, and our actual life is
Well, some people are, I guess more proud of their life than others, I suppose. I mean, I feel like there is, a solid way of living. I would say the way I live right now, I'm pretty fortunate, I live under a roof. I still live with my parents, I probably want to change that situation eventually, but, I'm still living, I'm in a fortunate living situation. Sometimes that's all you can ask for, and obviously I have some job opportunities maybe coming up. We'll see. Only time will tell, I guess. But yeah, again, sometimes that's all you can ask for, You gotta just be able to live normally without any, you don't need to live in, a rich household. Some people feel like, oh, I need to make a lot of money to be happy. Oh, I need to have a good partner to be happy. I need to have this, and this. This is, an ideal future that I could live in my life. My life would be so much better if I had all of this. I think what it really is more than anything, humans are wired to focus more on what they don't have instead of what they do have. You never notice or feel like something is missing, or you never really notice what you have in life until it's gone. Truthfully, that's just how human beings are naturally wired.
Measured against that image every day. Perhaps this is why so many people move through the world with this quiet desperation. Not because they are doing nothing, but because life does not seem to come through them, rather it happens to them. What would the opposite of such a life look like? Let's take a trip to Twin Peaks, where one of the most famous...
Oh my god, Twin Peaks. Bro, I haven't finished this show. Well, I finished season 2. I haven't watched the Fire Walk With Me movie, and I haven't seen season 3 yet. I need to finish Twin Peaks at some point. I really should. It's a very weird show, I gotta say. It's definitely one of the weirder shows I've watched, but it's kind of up there with, Silent Hill, in the sense that it's purposely made with leaving it open to interpretation. And so, I would say there's a lot of characters I like. I obviously love Dale Cooper. He's one of my personal favorite characters in the show. I also really liked... There was another character I really enjoyed in the show. I forget what his name is. Oh, why is it not coming back to me? It's the, whatchamacallit? It's... Fuck. I think he's, a Native American, he works for the police department. Hawk, I think his name, right? Yeah, I really liked his character a lot, too. Maybe not a lot of people liked his character, but I genuinely really liked him a lot in Twin Peaks. He was really cool. I will say, one thing I really didn't like about the show was the whole, storyline with, the... sawmill company or whatever, or with that Catherine and the people that run that company or whatever, and them doing business behind the scenes. I thought that storyline was kind of boring and didn't really serve much of a purpose in the plot, truthfully. Some people, that might be a volcanic take. Maybe a lot of people think it's one of the better parts of the story and they really enjoyed that part, but I personally wasn't a fan of it. I found that part boring. I enjoyed the story with Dale Cooper and locating and figuring out what's going on in Twin Peaks a lot more than that particular storyline. But that's yeah, I don't know. There's your mini Twin Peaks review in a reaction video. Look at that.
Television characters Dale Cooper could provide us some answers. Kyle MacLachlan said in an interview that he views Dale Cooper as someone who, instead of being acted upon, has command of the world. Rather than life happening to him, life happens through him. The end.
That's interesting. I want to listen to that one more time. That's very interesting.
As someone who, instead of being acted upon, has command of the world. Rather than life happening to him, life happens through him.
That's interesting. I'm going to need to sit with that quote for a bit. That quote was a lot deeper than I was prepared to deal with. Damn, I really never knew that. Because I say this as a film student. I worked on like a lot of films, like a lot of college films and stuff, and working with actors. Like I've done that before. It's a collaborative effort, and like a lot of the actors have to put themselves in the character, right? Now, you could set the character up in a way where you have a vision of the character specifically and how you perfectly want him acted, but ultimately the actor is going to have to put their own spin on it one way or another, because you have to give the actor, like when you're working on a film, you have to give the actors a certain amount of creative freedom to give them room to do what they can with the role that they're playing. So in the case of, I guess, Kyle MacLachlan, he really did like try to have some level of freedom with Dale Cooper, and boy did it pay off. He is such a good character in that show. Holy shit.
The end product is deeply charming. A highly competent, cheery, and principled FBI agent with a penchant for apple pie, coffee, and the use of Tibetan dream work as a...
Bro, his coffee choice is so boring. You just get like a black drip coffee. Like, listen, whatever. It's a standard choice, but like, god damn it, dude. Come on, man. Like, mix it up a little bit. Get some espresso. You need a little bit of espresso in your life, Dale. Dale!
...of analysis. Cooper marches to the beat of his own drum, and yet does not appear individualistic or rebellious. It's as if he simply is one with the world, a natural extension of the order of things. What makes Agent Cooper so different? For one, he is not anxiously optimizing himself. It's apparent that Cooper does not live under the shadow of some external judge, whether it be the FBI, the townspeople of Twin Peaks, or any sort of ideology.
Well, I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit open to interpretation. I've seen the show. He constantly talks to this quote-unquote Diane character. I've still yet to see Diane. Maybe she appears in Season 3 or Fire Walk with Me. I haven't seen those yet. But, like, she's not in Season 1 or 2. So, like, he talks to this Diane. It almost seems like he's constantly, like, updating Diane, almost like he's, I guess, using her as guidance, kind of? I don't know. That's my interpretation of it. But, like, I guess we don't know. Maybe I have to watch more of the show to see if their relationship develops any further. But he's constantly, like, falling back on her to, like, update her on his progress and everything. So I feel like, I don't know, maybe that's not necessarily living under someone's shadow. But he certainly falls back on people, for sure.
Rather, Dale reacts spontaneously and earnestly to the reality that unfolds around him. Simply put, Dale...
I mean, I guess that part's true. He definitely is very good at adapting to the circumstances around him. I can always respect somebody who has the ability to do that.
Dale Cooper is comfortable in his life. He fully inhabits his existence. Why can't we all be like Agent Dale Cooper? Much of human history has involved looking upwards to find the answers of how to live our lives.
Probably because no one realistically can be like Dale Cooper. Like, let's be real. I mean, it's a premeditated show that they had to shoot. Like, you're not always going to 100% be able to mimic or do things that, like, fictional characters can do in a TV show that's pre-written, right? That's the boring answer, I guess. Sorry, guys. I won't bore you with these fucking answers. Sorry. My bad.
Typically, this was through some image of God, a transcendent entity.
Whoa, God?
Separate from existence that could clarify what it is exactly we're supposed to be. And then, when God lost some of his authority, we still didn't stop living under ideals.
Well, that depends if you think God exists. Some people are atheists and don't think a God exists. I grew up very weird about a relationship with God. Like, I'm not religious or anything, but I always, like, on the back of my head thought maybe a God could exist. You know what I mean? Like, maybe there's a possibility of it happening. Not in, like, an organized religion way, because I feel like a lot of organized religion reinterprets the Bible in very, very gross ways, to be honest. I think that there is, like, a God that exists that might have, you know, we might have came from, and a lot of people tend to believe that way, and I think that's a beautiful thing for a lot of people. Unfortunately, you have fucking MAGA, who uses the Bible to hate marginalized groups and then justify slavery and fucking justify, like, genocide and shit, so that's fun. And raping children, of course, can't forget that one.
Simply replaced old ones with new ones. Money, status, optimization, health, progress. The judge survived. It just changed costumes. Of course, many philosophers have poked holes in these external judges. Plenty of modern thinkers noticed this. They asked how people are shaped by forces that they barely understand: institutions, culture, language, ideology. They showed that many of our desires are not really ours, that what feels like freedom may just be obedience in a more flattering form.
I've heard someone like reposted it. I think I saw it in high school on my Instagram feed. Somebody reposted a quote that really stuck out to me. And I don't remember who specifically it came from, but I have the general message, so I'll just repeat it here. Sometimes life will give you what you desire to prove that that's not actually what you desire. Does that make sense? That really stuck out to me. Because sometimes there are things that we really want in life that we don't actually want. It's like, oh, it's not as good as it sounds. You know, someone could be, like, for example, someone could desire being famous. But when you're actually famous, the difference between living a life when you're famous and then the difference between being a normal person is, like, night and day. Like, you have constant people wanting, like, autographs. You have constant parasocial motherfuckers. And I don't mean to get dark, but that's most likely my theory as to why Avicii killed himself, because he just, like, he had so much fame to the point where he wanted to just live normally, and he clearly was very sad. He was unhappy. So, yeah, yeah.
By only following this criteria imposed upon us, we may not even realize that we don't, for example, want a six-pack or a job on Wall Street or to be a tough guy. Self-improvement.
Whoa, Grimace.
Could
Whoa.
be seen as a sophisticated
Grimace is God now.
form of obedience. We are still following an imperfect algorithm. In fact, that's probably the whole reason why it's so confusing to be alive nowadays. We partially know that a lot of these lifestyles and aspirations are far from perfect, but that doesn't really help us answer the fundamental question: how are we to live?
Some of us choose to show ourselves online. Some of
Whoa, do we have an ad now? Hey, you know what we gotta do. We gotta watch all the ads, baby.
us don't. The fact is, in this day and age, the choice isn't really yours anyways. Data breach numbers rise every year, and according to the annual data breach report from 2023 to 2024, they went up by over 200%. Not only things like your address, number, email, social security number, and relatives information spread and leaked across the internet, they are also bought and sold by data brokers. Your activity online is even used in AI answers for its training.
Yeah, it's fucking scary how easy it is to fucking just Google somebody's name and you can find so much more information on them if you, like, have subscription to these websites that give you all this personal information. It's fucking insane.
Thankfully, with our sponsor Incogni, we actually do have a choice to protect our data.
Incogni will find and remove your personal data from sites like online directories, people search sites, and commercial databases. Their process is automated for hundreds of known data brokers, and they will repeatedly check and remove your information if added again. Still too much stuff out there? Use their custom removal feature to erase everything regarding you online. You can work with your dedicated privacy expert by sending them links to which they will handle the rest. Incogni is the first and only personal data removal service to be independently verified by Deloitte, confirming their service is truthful, and with a 30-day money-back guarantee, there is no risk in seeing what is out there that you don't know about. Ready to take back your information? Use the code Sisyphus when visiting the link on screen or in the description for 60% off of an annual plan. Thank you, Incogni, for sponsoring this video.
Hey, we love Incogni, man. We hate our personal info and doxes being easy to find out in the world. We love it. Thank you so much for that.
Perhaps
It's very beautiful.
we could focus on one thinker in particular, Gilles Deleuze. And while he shared similar concerns with the postmodernists, he wanted something more than pure deconstruction. Deleuze was focused on wrestling with that very same question of life, but he wasn't going about it the way those in the past had. What he was interested in was a simple question. Not how should one live, not how should one act, but how might one live? Deleuze was recognizing the freedom and the importance of experimentation. For Deleuze, the self is not a finished object waiting to be perfected. It is a process, a shifting arrangement of habits, desires, relationships, memories, affects, contradictions. Something always being assembled and disassembled. And if we take this perspective, it becomes clear. The fantasy of finally becoming the correct self, of finally arriving at a perfect crystallized form of yourself, is already misguided. But there's
That's weird. Are we about to get into like a weird conversation about like manifestation and like what, Neville Goddard or something like that? Is that what the direction that this video is about to take?
still some subject experiencing life. We still need to know what to do. We do have bodies and some sense of perdurance. So to understand Deleuze's next step, we need to appreciate someone who Deleuze would call the prince of all other philosophers, Spinoza. Spinoza did something incredibly radical. He put into question whether there was such a thing as the transcendent at all. In our first examples, there's the transcendent of God, of outer truth. Then later, with the death of God, there is the transcendent of society, of...
Why the fuck is there a visual of Ronald McDonald here? What, is he like a descendant of God or something?
capitalism.
I guess some people might think that. I don't know. Depending on the businesses. I don't fucking know, man. I don't know where I was going with that, truthfully. I tried to cook. I sometimes you win some, you lose some. I don't know. Maybe someone could see him as a god somewhere. I don't know. Some delusional fuck. But every time I see a visual of Ronald McDonald in like a subliminal space like McDonald's or some shit, there's always like some true crime backstory revolving it. Please tell me what some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Not everyone's gonna resonate with that one. I don't know, man. True crime is so fucking strange. It's very toxic. You gotta be careful with how you interact with it.
Humanism. Spinoza rejects the dualism
God, speaking of true crime, we're in the perfect fucking setting for it. A forest.
assumed in such a question. Instead, he points to the possibility that there was never any separation from the transcendent, that there was never any...
This video took a weird direction, I gotta be honest. Should I have been more high for this? Like, I don't even get high often. Like, should I have gotten high for this video? I don't fucking know. I don't know if there's really any commentary I can give for, like, being a transcendent of God or something, or, like, a better, like, I don't know, dude. This is getting way too fucking deep for me.
real difference between transcendence and anything else. Spinoza replaced transcendence with immanence. What is immanence? Rather than assuming that a cause produces an effect outside of itself, immanence occurs when an effect remains within its cause. Immanence is like a whirlpool, something we can distinguish from water, but is also the water itself. From this, Spinoza...
Okay, are there, like, any other examples of this? That sounds like an interesting concept. I can't really think of anything that would be that, though. Yeah, I can't think of any examples. That's fucking deep.
developed a concept that would be extremely important for Deleuze, the immanent criteria. Deleuze was interested in something Spinoza called immanent criteria. What if we were to completely refuse to hand ourselves over to transcendent illusion?
Dude, it looks like this guy's... I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys can see it. Bro, look at the fucking hand move. It looks like he's beating off. Look.
What
look
if we were to completely
He's like fucking... Dude, am I crazy? Can you guys see that? It's like, it looks like he's just beating off. The stick figure's just, he's just trying to rub one off. He's made of, he is white though. He's got a white outline himself. Brother, like, the moment you finish, you're not going to be able to tell the difference between you and the fucking ejaculation. Like, I'm sorry, brother. I hate to break it to you.
ourselves over to transcendent illusion.
Homie could do it to, like, a girl stick figure, and you wouldn't know about it. He could jack off right in front of you. She wouldn't know. How would she know?
Higher powers or external judges. Spinoza suggested that we do not yet know the full possibilities of our bodies, our minds, of what it is to be a living human being.
Dude, this is such a weird react. I gave some, like, decent commentary in the beginning about, like, Twin Peaks and how it, like, aligns with that, and, like, deep quotes, and, like, how there's no right way to live. But, like, this video took such a weird fucking direction. I don't know what to say. Like,
Spinoza's move...
I'm debating whether or not I should just, like, end the react here, because it's like, I'm not really giving any commentary pertaining to the video.
It's basically this. Stop looking up. Everything you're searching for is already here, already operating.
Okay, so it is getting into a conversation about manifestation. Jesus fucking Christ. It's, like, basically the concept of manifestation is essentially, like, you already have something, and so you, like... if you treat something like you already have it, then it will manifest into your reality or something. It's very trippy shit. Whether or not you believe in that stuff is up to you, I guess. I'll let you guys be the judges of that.
Already alive in the world around you. Imagine someone who spends his whole life comparing himself to a model of success he did not create. By 30, he thinks he should have a certain salary, a certain relationship, a certain body, and a certain kind of apartment. And when he looks at his life, he sees only failure. But failure according to whose criteria? According to...
Well, I don't know. Failure is subjective, but there is, like legitimate conversations about what is failure. Like, if you're fucking homeless on the streets... and you're homeless because of, I don't know. I mean, like, people are homeless for all sorts of different reasons. But, like, if you're, like, a fucking drug addict and you're, like, homeless or something like that, I don't know. Like, you are kind of a failure. Not to say that, like, everybody in those situations got there because of themselves, because I'm sure it's a lot more complicated than that. But it's, like, there are things that make you objectively a failure in life, right?
Criteria that came from outside of him. From the culture, from the market, from the people around him.
I guess being MAGA means you're a failure to society, because you're fucking misguided. You are, like, one of the most misguided things you could be in life.
From the vague social image of what a life is supposed to look like. That is a transcendent judgment. His life is being measured against an external ideal. An immanent criterion would ask a different question. Not, does this life resemble the model, but what does this life actually do? Does it become more alive or less alive? More open or more closed? More capable of that experimentation of love, attention, courage, creation? Does it increase this person's power to act, to connect, to endure, to feel, or does it diminish them? Deleuze was heavily inspired by this thinking. He proposed that we must abandon transcendent moral frameworks, and he urged us towards an ethics of immanence. Stop judging our lives against absolute values of good and evil. Instead, let us adopt a mode of existence through immanent criteria, which looks like active experimentation over conformity. Anything that contains us and keeps us stuck is ruinous to life itself. Is this not similar to Dale Cooper? Somebody who, instead of being acted upon, has command of his world. His persistent curiosity, his refusal to fit into an easily defined role or story, and his desire to create, to collaborate, to connect. What comes across as perhaps strange and eccentric is also something that makes his character so magnetic. He is immanent. He happens to the world, and life flows through him. Deleuze doesn't offer easy answers. He's quite difficult to read, difficult to understand, and trying to write about him for a single video is its own challenge. But that's why I like the example of Dale Cooper. I think he demonstrates this sort of tragic affirmation, this creativity and experimentation with life.
That's what's so great about Twin Peaks, man. Is, like, you can watch it. Like, I feel like if I ever rewatch Twin Peaks in the future, I will definitely go into it with a different perspective. And I can respect shows where if you watch it a second time, you can come out of it thinking something completely different. Because Twin Peaks is intentionally designed to be up to the viewer's interpretation. It is very much in the same vein as Silent Hill. In fact, I'm pretty sure the Silent Hill games take inspiration from Twin Peaks. I feel like Twin Peaks is part of Silent Hill inspiration, to be honest. Where if you play the Silent Hill games and you pay attention to the story, a lot of it is meant to be up to the player's interpretation. I really respect stories that are like that, because there's just, it makes it so that the conversation amongst these stories never ends. And I feel like that's what this video should have been about, honestly. This would have been like a fire video about, like, Twin Peaks and how it's up to and open to interpretation. Whereas the rest of this video is talking about, like, God, transcendence. I'm clearly not drunk or high enough for this video, to be honest with you. Oh, man. This is one of those, like, videos that was, like, fed into me in the algorithm. I thought it was interesting to watch. I don't know. I mean, like, we're almost at the end of it. Like, we have, like, 2 minutes left, so I might as well finish it. But, like, yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it.
One who isn't bound by his role or his particular habits. And when I think of this all together, I come away with a strangely liberating idea. Maybe there is no correct way to live, no final form, no perfect blueprint.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I just don't know if I fully agree with that. It's like, there are ways to live that can be super harmful to your life. Being a drug addict, being alcoholic, like doing things that are actively harmful to you are objectively just not the correct way to live, right? So I don't think it's so black and white. Like, I get the overall message of this video is that, like, oh, there's, like, all these expectations, like, getting married or, like, getting a job or getting, like, tons of money or whatever, right? There's, like, all these, like, expectations that people are put on them. So, like, I understand that you don't have to, like, set too unreasonably high expectations for yourself and think that if you didn't meet that criteria, then you're not living correctly. But, like, I don't know. There are objectively incorrect ways to live. I don't know if this video is as, like, I guess liberal as this person is treating it to be. I can't think of any other word than liberal, like being free about it, I guess.
Maybe the task is not to become the right kind of person according to some external judge or standard, but to build a life from within. A life that makes you more open, more capable, more alive. To create, to experiment, to pay attention, to follow what increases your power to act, to connect, to love, to endure. Dale Cooper walks into a strange town, orders a good cup of coffee, and somehow seems completely at home in existence. Maybe that is what we are really looking for.
Well, I guess maybe that's why he got hired into the FBI. My theory, and I don't know if this is ever confirmed, but my theory is that Dale Cooper is definitely autistic of some sorts. I always got the vibe that he was, like, on the spectrum. By the way that he talks, by the way that he acts. He's so, like, different in comparison to all the other characters in the show that he's just, I genuinely think he is a little bit autistic. He's very fucking smart as well. Like, people that are autistic are very smart, so that's also part of it.
Not the right life from above, but a way of inhabiting our own life from within. Did you like this video? A lot of these...
Well, I don't know, man. It got a little bit too deep for me. But, I guess thanks for making something that I could react to.
Themes are discussed in the book that I released a couple months ago. It navigates Deleuze's notion of desire, the idea of an existential crisis, and living through a sense of flow and vitality. I'd highly recommend it.
Alright, well that that was a lot more trippy than I was prepared to deal with, but you know what? I guess it's not the worst video I've watched. We got to talk about Twin Peaks a lot. We got to talk about some deep topics, so as far as I'm concerned, it's solid enough react. Though I kind of wish I had more to say about the actual topic at hand.